Hey. Okay, that was my reaction tonight when I was in the theater watching Daybreakers. And, hey, how's it going, everyone? This is Coverage. Hi. How are you? Anyways, so tonight is somewhat of me starting my movie reviews. I'm going to try to do this every week with the movies coming out, and I went tonight. And my choices tonight that were coming out Friday, I go to the movies real quick. I go Thursday night at midnight. That way I can kind of get it Friday, so that way whoever watches this has kind of like a heads up of what's going on. Anyhow, so back to this real quick. My choices were Leap Year and Daybreakers. So wanted to kind of get the Daybreakers out of the way because, to be quite honest, even though the preview involved Ethan Hawke, which, you know, that should have just given me a heads up right there. I should have never watched it. But I was like, you know what? Interesting. You know, world taken over by vampires. You know, they talk about it all the time in the movies. You know, let's go ahead and conquer the world, turn everyone into a vampire, feed off the humans. So this is a movie that actually goes ahead and does that. So I'm like, all right, let's see what it has to offer. Boy, oh boy, this is the most depressing, freaking awful movie I've ever seen. You know, where's Brad Pitt? Where's Tom Cruise? Where are all the beautiful vampires at? You know, what the freak? There's nothing but deathly, just macabre looking, ugly vampires everywhere. What the WTF, people? Really? You know, where are all the hot vampires at? They're nowhere to be seen. You know, and then. So, with that out of the way, I'll give you a quick synopsis of it, and there's going to be a couple spoilers in here, so if you are wanting to watch this movie, then stop the video right now, because I am getting ready to spoil some shit. So, Ethan Hawke's character is a doctor, a hematologist of all things. He is pretty much in charge of finding a kind of substitute food supply for everybody. When I say everybody, I mean the vampires, because they're, no pun intended, sucking the world dry. There's about maybe 10 or maybe, I think, 5% of the human population left, and they are pretty much these underground kind of groups happening, and they're trying to find a way to kind of save the human race. Good for them, you know. I was waiting to see Buffy at one point, but, you know, hey, that's just wishful thinking on my part. But let's see. So Ethan, of course, is this kind of melodramatic, you know, big surprise character that he refuses to feed off of, he refuses to feed. And another thing is that the reason why they have to go ahead and find a blood substitute is because the vampires, if they don't drink blood, then they literally turn into, or they start turning into these man-bat monsters, and they start feeding off of each other. So, other actors that are in this movie is Sam Neill and William Dafoe, which, you know, I was kind of giving it some credit because I'm like, hey, William Dafoe, I'm a big fan of his. I like pretty much everything that he has been in. He does a great job. He's a great actor. You know, every movie I've seen him in is great. I should have probably stayed a little bit longer, but I didn't, just because the dialogue was just terrible. Just terrible dialogue. It's like predictable. You can literally, not literally, sorry, I hate using that word, but sorry, it just keeps popping into my head. You can actually talk along with this movie. That's how predictable the dialogue is. So, it's just a bunch of, how can I trust you? You know what I want the same thing you want. You know, is this really happening? Don't you believe? Ugh, awful stuff. So that's pretty much, that's my review for Daybreakers. World becomes vampires. They're sucking the human race dry, and the animals too. And I didn't stay long enough to see what happens, because I think I already know what's going to happen. Knock yourself out. I think about the only thing that I will say that the one thing I think it did do to me was suck me $15 into an hour and a half of my life, because I feel a little bit victimized, and not even in a hot way. But anyhow, you know, I would probably go see Sherlock Holmes or Avatar. I already saw it twice. Great movie. I kind of didn't give it a shot the first time, but hey, it's $300 million or whatever $1 million movie, and it's basically Fern Gully in space. Sherlock Holmes, good acting. I'm glad Robert Downey Jr. is making a comeback like that. Jude Law was great in it, and yeah, pretty much a well-rounded band of actors. So don't waste your money at all on Daybreakers. Save it for like when it's on Redbox and for $1, or if I would probably recommend waiting for it to be a world premiere on some public network, because probably the edited version will be a masterpiece compared to the crap that I just saw tonight. So that's pretty much all I have to say for today. You guys have a good night or good morning, because it's going around 2:30 right now. So see you later, and have a good night, morning, day, whatever. Bye.